Hello. So I have got Dexter, the Labrador, with me for a mini residential this weekend. One of the behaviours that I've been asked to look at with him is a bed behaviour. Bed behaviour is super handy for managing the dogs around the house. If they've got a solid bed behaviour, then you can send them to the bed, let people in. You can send them to the bed, prep your dinner. You can be eating your dinner and have them on the bed. It allows you to be able to have the dog with you, but contained in an area. And it's also very good for kind of foundation general obedience training. That impulse control, stay in this position. So when I'm training this behaviour, I break it down into two separate elements, okay? One is the act of getting on the bed and responding to the cue. The other is duration of staying on the bed. I don't train those two things together. I split them apart to train them. So first of all, let's look at response to cue. So to begin with, I want to make the act of getting on the bed really fun, okay? So I get my treats ready, I get my dog out, I get my bed. To begin with, my preference is to use a bed like this. I've got a raised bed behind me. It brings clarity to the exercise. This bed, you can't be half on it, half off it, okay? You're very obviously either on it or you're off it. So it just brings a real sense of clarity for the dog. Doesn't mean to say that you can't do it with a vet bed or a more normal bed. You absolutely can. But to just train the behaviour quicker and have more clarity, I like to start with something like this. Okay, so what I will do, I'll get my treats ready, get my dog, put the bed down. If the dog even looks towards the bed, I will mark it. I will feed them where I want the behaviour to be. So they just have to look towards the bed. I'll click. And then I'll get the food and I'll put it on the bed. So they're getting on the bed. Then I will use my release word. I will encourage them off of the bed. I'll wait. If they turn towards the bed, I mark again. I feed where I want them to be. So I keep doing this, but each time I'm moving the point that I click. To begin with, all they've got to do is look, I click, I feed them on the bed. Once they start getting the idea that the food is coming on the bed, they're going to start moving towards the bed, okay? So then they look towards the bed, they take a couple of steps, I click that, I feed them on the bed. Then they take a couple of steps more, they're really close to the bed, I click that, I feed that. Then I wait for a foot, I click that, I feed that on the bed, okay? So I shape it very much like that. Then when they've got the idea that it's about getting on the bed, I make it into a real fun game. So I start running away from the bed, and I'll go still. And then they'll get on the bed, I'll click, I'll give them the food, I'll bring them off the bed. Come on. I'll stop. They'll turn, they'll get on the bed, I click. So I make it really fun. Then when I can see that they've got a real understanding of the behaviour that I want, at that point, I introduce the cue. So I'll call them off the bed, come on. And then bed. And then they turn around. As soon as they get on, I mark it, I feed them, I pull them off, okay? So that is the response to cue part of it. Then we have the duration part of it, which is a totally different thing. So for this, I just help them onto the bed. They're on the bed. I feed them on the bed. I do not want the food coming from my hand. I'm going to be proofing this and I'm going to be moving further away from the bed and testing to see whether, they can stay on the bed. I don't want their mind thinking about the food in my hand. So whenever I'm feeding them for this, I'm putting the food on the bed. I want them to be thinking about food on the bed, not in my hand, not get that food from my hand. The food's going to come on the bed. Really important, okay? So I start really easy. I stay close. They're on the bed. I put the food on the bed. I wait a second, put the food on the bed. Wait a couple more seconds, put the food on the bed. Can I wait 5, 6 seconds, put the food on the bed? Then I start moving around and proofing it a little bit. Put the food on the bed, move back a little bit, come forwards, put the food on the bed. If they get off, it isn't a drama. It's going to happen. They're actually going to learn by making this error. So it's a really fine, you don't have to build it so that you have continuous success. It's preferable to have a high rate of success. You want the dog to have good feelings and be being rewarded a lot, but don't be scared of errors. Errors are okay. They're going to learn something from the error. So if they get off the bed, I just make a noise every time, the same noise. So it can be like, whoops, or uh-oh, or, you know, something that signals, you know, continuously, every time I make this noise, uh-oh, you're not getting fed. So they come off the bed, I'll go, uh-oh, I'll just help them back on with an empty hand. I'm not luring, I'm not feeding, okay? Help them back on. As they get back on, I really communicate to them, yeah, that's what I want, that's fantastic. And then I go back to where I was. Can you hold your position? Yes, you can. I come forward and feed. A really common mistake that I want you to avoid is if they get off the bed, you go, uh-oh, put them on the bed. People feed at this point. Do not feed at this point. You are feeding the error. If the dog breaks and comes off the bed and you put them back on the bed and you feed them, then they think, I would like a treat now. This duration is getting too long for me. So all I have to do is get off the bed and you'll produce a treat to get me back on the bed. So don't do that, okay? The error is fine. Be nice, be friendly, help them back onto the bed, communicate to them, yeah, that's good. But then they must hold that position before they get the treat. Don't feed the error, feed the success, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to demonstrate it practically now with Dexter, who's been learning this with me throughout the weekend. So I have done the initial stages with him, but I'll start by clicking a little bit early to show you. But he's done some initial learning, but I want to show you how I'm training this, okay? Okay, so I've got Dexter out. His click word is G-O-O-D, okay? So when he turns towards this bed, I'm going to say that click word and he's going to get fed on the bed. Yes, okay. So he has done a bit of this, so he does kind of know what he's doing. Oh, we've started on a disaster. Right, let's put this the right way. Good. I pull him off. Good. Ha ha. Super. Okay. Good. Yeah. See how when he's turning, I'm clicking and I'm feeding on the bed. Release word. Okay. Stop. Good. Yeah. And I'm letting him get further and further on. Okay. Help him off. Good. Yeah. Super boy. So he kind of knows what he's doing now. So I'm going to push it on a little bit and I'm going to start adding the cue, okay? One important thing to mention, don't ever feed the release. You don't need to feed the release, just help them off, okay? Getting off is never going to be your problem. That's always going to be easy. Okay, bed. Good, ha ha, super. Okay, bed. Good! Ha ha! Super boy! Okay! Yeah! Bed! Good! Ha ha! Super, super! Okay! Bed! Good! Ha! Super! Good lad! Okay! Good boy! And then I get him off and I pick the bed up, okay? I've made this quite fun for him, okay? So he's quite into this. I pick the bed up, I'm talking to you guys. I don't want to ignore the dog and the dog's offering the behaviour, and I'm doing nothing. So I've just picked it up. You can see, Dexter, good boy. You can see how I've made it a game for him. I've made it fun. Okay, it's not boring, it's not sterile. He's enjoying what he's doing. Now let's go to duration. So for this, I'm very much feeding on the bed. I'm starting to move away a little bit. That's so nice. Feed on the bed. Move around a bit. Feed on the bed. Move around a little bit. What a boy. Feed on the bed. You can give verbal encouragement, that's fine. Just don't say your click word, which I struggle with because I say that word a lot. Super. So good. Oh, I said it. So for me, with my dogs, okay. Woo. I've made it too good. Oh, goodness. I say G-O-O-D to my dogs all the time as a keep going supportive word. I don't use it as a click word. So my muscle memory is terrible with this word. I want to say it all the time, but it's super important with the click word to only say it when they're doing the right thing and you're going to give them treats, okay? So it's hard for me because for me, I say it all the time as a supportive word. It's not a click word in my vocabulary. So I've got to get my stuff together, haven't I, Dexter? Shall we go again? Oh, I know you love it. You love it. You love it. So lovely. Look, I managed not to say it. This is super. So I'm moving a bit further away now. I'm testing him a little bit. Super. Super. So he's doing well. Going to start making it more difficult. As I said, I have done some of this with him. So I want you to see an error. I want you to see how I handle it. Let's really push it. Oh. That's it. That's the one. Get him back on. Verbally support him. Don't feed him. That's really lovely. Do what I did again. Oh. That's what I want. That's fantastic. Oh. That's so fantastic. Wow, this was amazing. This was amazing. So good. Oh my goodness. Wow. You're fantastic. You are fantastic. Rolled off the bed, unfortunate. That a boy. That a boy. This is so super. This is so super. Okay. Nice boy. Nice boy. Yeah. Okay, so the error wasn't a problem. He struggled a bit with it. I really pushed it because I really wanted to get it. I've been doing this with him all weekend. He's getting pretty good at it now. I wanted to get that error. I made it really hard. He came off. I made a noise. I helped him back on, told him he was awesome without using that word. And then I did not feed the error. Then I did it again. He broke again. I said the same word. I helped him back on. Yeah, that's so fantastic being on the bed. And then he went, I see, okay? And then he managed to hold it, and then I'm like, yeah! And then he gets all the things, because he's got through the error, and I have rewarded success. I haven't rewarded the error, I've rewarded success. And if you do that, you'll see really quick progress, okay?